Hello, everyone. Kitty Foss here, your storytelling astrologist, reader of the stars for December 19th, 2025. Big day. First of all, it started at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with the closest paths of 3i Atlas to the Earth. And really interesting, 3i Atlas, here's this unidentified flying object. It's not a comet, it's some kind of intrastellar, and yet take a look, and that's what today's conversation with the stars is about. Take a look at the lack of information that's out there, or what's happening, because part of that is it's showing us patterns, it's showing us things when it broke into three parts because it got superheated of physics that is being unraveled. There's a lot of things being unraveled. Things we thought were axioms, that this is the way it behaved. We're learning, and so we don't really know how to observe that. And human beings tend to sit back and kind of wait until it's a confrontation. And that's part of this evolutionary energy. We can do it differently. We can be curious. We can tap in. We can learn that it does not have to be through adversity in order to make the decisions. And I think that's part of our evolution. It's my own personal piece of this adversity energy that is around us is let's learn to do it differently. I know what the cycle of human being is, and at some point we evolve. We evolve. So let's take a look today. So today is a new moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is about travel, expansion, truth. And what a new moon is for a time for us to step into a new consciousness. Some people call it manifestation of what we attract to ourselves, but it's a new consciousness of understanding what we attract to ourselves so we create the world we wish to create. There's a conjunction with Venus today, Venus that's in Sagittarius. Curiosity is again the question, whether you want to call it skeptical or curiosity. All of the things that have been happening have made us learn to question and not necessarily accept everything we've been told. That in itself is an evolutionary movement forward. Be skeptical, be curious, and learn to listen. So, this is about our foundations, our cherished understandings and honorings of our learning that are deep down, that are not about necessarily the rules that society has given us. Our own goals and manifestations of activating, okay, our consciousness with discernment. We choose the flow of our understandings today, and some of that is in the curiosity, in the questioning of, does it have to be that way? Just because there's an information that's just out of our grasp, that's just part of what we're bringing in, whether you want to call it manifestation, activation, whatever. It's just past quite our cognitive grasp, and yet we're very aware. It's like something that's ticking at us, getting our attention, and yet we don't quite know what it is. It's sitting in the background. Boundaries are not only being pushed, they're likely disappearing. And that's about that level of integration, that new, what happened in November, this new, whatever you want to call it, field of integration that is happening. And it's changing what our boundaries are. They're literally disappearing, and we are just watching them disintegrate. So we have to integrate whatever this new energy is. We can do it differently. It will rise to consciousness not necessarily in a way of our understanding of before. It's building a new capacity to integrate. And as I was writing that, I got this really big pain in my right eye. In other words, what am I looking at? Look to see today where some of the chaos shows up for you, because chaos today is working very independently in those last degrees of Taurus, anchoring us down. Our Uranus placement today works independently from what is moving us forward in truth or in our emotional understanding, because it's also in not in a conversation at all with our moon. And so that little voice, that energy feeling in the background, acknowledge it, sit with it. It's creating a capacity and a pathway in our understanding, in our energetic field as a collective and as an individual, to allow our understanding of what is coming to an end what is being released, and what is arising anew. It's a new kind of gotcha understanding that is stepping in, that is integrating to make um, us understand our connection to each other, and that those things we have been taught are human aren't necessarily what we have to be. Tonight, there's a void of course. That's about with the void of course moon. Not there's a discernment that steps up with our spirit placement, Pisces, finishing that long 195-year cycle that it's been in. And it's a potential, a capacity of how we're going to build, how we're going to grow. And again, the possibilities are all there. Sit with whatever that is arising for you that creates the room to allow it to happen. I'm Kitty Foss. I will be back tomorrow. Enjoy this new moon and see what unfolds today. Namaste.